Artistic tautology. Artistic tautology is the circumstance in art wherein a word and an image represent the same thing. It can only be achieved if art can stand on its own without outside aid. It is a special case of semiotics, wherein semiotics is defined as the relationship between a sign, an object, and a meaning. Semiotic relationships are observed in identity design and place branding, and an example of which is a city government logo. A government logo is a symbol, name, or trademark of a governing body. Though semiotics can be seen in any medium of art, artistic tautology has only been seen in traditional art, as seen in artworks such as Parts of the Face, French Vocabulary Lesson by Larry Rivers in 1961, and Neon, 5 Words in Red Neon, and 4 Colors, 4 Words by Joseph Kosuth on 1965 and 1966. Graphic design is defined as the act of arranging symbols to convey a single idea. With city government logos being an example of graphic design, it is a shame that artistic tautology is not being applied to a field wherein the meaning and the symbol should convey the same message. Logos should be an avenue to prevent miscommunication, but without artistic tautology, the meaning a specific logo spreads will not be absolute. Due to this, the researchers would like to expand the reach of artistic tautology, not just in paintings and installations, but also in modern-day graphic designs such as city government logos. By achieving artistic tautology, the meaning that the logo is trying to come across to its viewers will be absolute. Apart from that, a logo can be understood on its own without any outside information when artistic tautology is achieved.
This study intends to formulate a theory on artistic tautology as seen in the logos of the city governments of NCR for the development of a proposed design of a regional government logo. With the help of Wiggins' graphic design theory and semiotic theory in the field of identity design, to create a regional logo anchored on the concept of artistic tautology, cities and provinces would be able to have their own brand and identity, as well as the individuals living in it.
Purposive sampling was particularly used in this study because qualitative research focuses in depth on the experience of the co-researchers that can give substantial data to help in the study. In line with this, the co-researchers were selected based on an inclusion criteria that includes the present archives keepers of the City Hall, those who are knowledgeable about the city's government logo, its meanings and symbols. If possible, the researchers also included the previous archive keepers of the City Hall, the proponents and designers of the city's logo, those who were present during the time that the city's logo's symbols were officially discussed, and the government official who unveiled the logo. Of the 14 co-researchers interviewed, 6 were tourism officers or head, 2 were public information office officers, and 2 were museum archives keepers. The other 3 were department heads of city planning, Sangguniang Panglungsod, and Komisyon ng Wikang Filipino. The study was conducted in the cities of the National Capital Region.
To obtain the data needed for the study, the first step done was the profiling of the co-researchers. In profiling, the co-researchers must meet the criteria set in the selection in order to validate the statements that they have stated. Prior to the formal interview, the co-researchers were informed of the study's significance and objectives, their involvement and future contribution to the study's process, and the confidentiality of their statements as well. The interview was conducted in a semi-structured manner to give room for follow-up questions and to obtain a deeper and more substantial information from the co-researchers' response to each question. The responses of the co-researchers were analyzed in order to find substantial information that could help the development of the study. According to Bowen, document analysis is a form of qualitative research in which documents are interpreted by the researcher to give voice and meaning on the assessment topic. This method was done by gathering the official photos of each city government logo, if such was available. Digging through the government relations of the city's government logos, significant documents such as the municipal ordinances on the city's implementation of their own logos were researched, collected, and outlined. These files were confirmed based on the resources and through the help of the co-researchers. After collecting the data needed for the study, the researchers proceeded to the approach to analysis in order to formulate a theory to conceptualize artistic tautology as seen in the logos of the city government of NCR for the development of a proposed design of a regional government logo.
For our approach to analysis, this study utilized Glaser and Strauss as a method of analysis since it uses a constant comparative method to develop concepts from the data by comparing and analyzing at the same time. Memory was used to analyze if the statements of the co-researchers did not directly answer the problem, but was supported by the ordinance of ToLOGO, or if it did not answer the problem at all, or was redundant to what was previously stated by the co-researcher, with the use of the ordinances retrieved from the city's archive keeper. The researchers utilized the ordinance in document analysis. Analyzing documents incorporates coding content in themes similar to how focus groups or interview transcripts are analyzed. The winnowed statements and the data obtained from the process of image mapping are then compared and contrasted through internal coding. These internal codings, constructed from the statements of the co-researchers, were made to give a comprehensible meaning to the obtained data of interest through the form of a word or a phrase. The theoretical sampling method, called clustering, was used to group the codes into specific categories. After the formulation of the theory, a theory test note took place. Theory test note was the process in which the researchers validated the formulated theory on other related documents or figures not included in the research.
From conducting interviews, analyzing documents, and constantly comparing the data gathered, the researchers came up with the karanasan, layunin, simbolo, or kalasi paradigm. Our first eidetic theme is labeled as karanasan. The study showed that the logo of the city governments in NCR is rooted in the experience of the city's residents. Findings showed that the majority of the NCR's logo comprises, from most to least prevalent, four major components, namely political, moral, economical, and geographical aspects of the city. These are based on the individual meanings of each element in the logo, since each symbol represents an experience. The next eidetic theme is the layunin. With their experiences came an intention to construct a logo that will serve as a representation of the identity of the city and the aspirations of the place's constituents. This was rooted from the purpose of the ordinances, which were presented by each city to get an approval of their own city logo. The last eidetic theme is what we call simbolo. With the experience and intention present at hand, a symbol was formed to serve as a representation of the city, in which the concept of artistic tautology was elucidated through the relationship between a word and an image. Based on the Ordinance Number 10, Series of 2019 of the City Government of Taguig, a corporate seal is a functional sign to help people find and identify the local government. It creates a brand that is associated with the local government and services it offers to the people. Finally, a thorough discussion is to be done to fully explain the Kalasi paradigm and the conceptualization of the term artistic tautology as represented by city government logos in the National Capital Region.
The first eidetic theme is karanasan. Artistic tautology is rooted in the experiences felt by the city at the time being, as seconded by earlier studies which stated that place branding includes the process of consultation wherein government officials have a dialogue with their constituents to determine the accuracy of the logo. In addition to this, Gover stated that the most important agent that helps create a place brand is an organic agent, which is defined as citizens narrating their experience in the years of living in a specific city. These experiences can be divided into four aspects: political, moral, economical, and geographical.
The next eidetic theme is the layunin. When experiences relatively unique to a city have been enumerated, an ordinance will be submitted for approval in the National Commission on the Culture and Arts, or NCCA. In submitting an ordinance, there is an underlying intention and objective as to why a city aspires to have a unique government logo of its own, one of which is giving a place an identity as represented by a single symbol. In addition, the brand style of the current Department of Interior and Local Government is anchored on the identity of the department, in which its identity is unique from others. The last eidetic theme is simbolo. When an intention grounded on the experience, the place and its residents feel is defined by submitting ordinances, a concrete output in the form of a logo will be created as a symbol of a certain place. Every symbol is composed of words and images, wherein if integrated, the word and the image will work hand in hand to represent the same meaning. Therefore, artistic tautology will be achieved. The previous statement is seconded by Moronis in 2016, wherein she stated that government logos fall under combination marks, which make use of both words and images working together to reinforce a brand. After artistic tautology is achieved, a logo is now fully capable of representing an entire place by just looking at it. These logos send out a message unique to that specific place almost immediately due to the ability of images to be an entire entity of its own without needing any supplementary aids.
This grounded theory study gave rise to the classic paradigm, which illustrates the concept of artistic tautology as seen in the city government logos, originating from the experience of the people residing in that place and their intention to come up with a symbol that will give identity to their city. The form symbol would now be represented by a word and an image anchored on the concept of artistic tautology. Findings of the study showed the relationship of word and image illustrated in the context of logos, which enabled the researchers to come up with a proposed regional logo with the aid of modern-day graphic design. With the formulated classic paradigm, a regional logo for the NCR was proposed, with the four most prevalent components evident. There are individual meanings for each of the elements in the logo. Sun as a symbolism of hope for new beginnings and opportunities. Buildings as a vision of a highly urbanized region. Laurel leaves symbolize wisdom, the value that guides the NCR in reaching its vision. There are 17 stars which represent the 16 cities and one municipality of NCR. The year 1975 is the year when the National Capital Region was founded. The map as the geographical map of NCR. And lastly, the colors red, blue, white, and yellow, which shows that the region is a part of the Republic of the Philippines. To conclude this, the classic paradigm will then be tested on other regions in the Philippines, which can significantly contribute in giving other places their identities with the use of logos.